Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. Athletic Club 4, Barcelona 2. Barcelona are officially knocked out of the Copa del Rey. We did not get the victory in San Mamés, and it's a tough loss, boys. It's a very tough loss. Barcelona is now going to have to reset and focus on the league and the Champions League, the two competitions that we still remain in. But before we get started on the video, guys, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Go over there, check me out. That way you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. As well, go on my Twitter page or X. I post a link, the streamer link. If you guys want to join, give your thoughts, comments, and also talk about the game. I know a lot of us are feeling down, but sometimes the therapy session is needed. And so if you guys want to join in, feel free. Just go on my X page and then you'll be able to join. But ladies and gentlemen, it's Barcelona. Let's first look at the lineup and then let's talk about the game, and then also we'll look at the goals. But Iñaki Peña started it in goal. Barcelona, actually Xavi, he lined up with back. You had Balde, Christensen, Araujo, Kunde in that back line. In the midfield, you had Pedri, Frankie de Jong, and Gundogan. And up top, you had Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski, and Ferran Torres. Now, looking at individually, you had a couple players stand out. Obviously, you had Lamine Yamal, who played a good game. Frankie de Jong, I thought he played superb. I thought he was literally everywhere, recovering balls, making good passes, covering ground, helping defensively. Frankie de Jong had a great game today. And it's so frustrating that Barcelona, after putting so much work over 90 minutes, because this game did go into extra time, we end up conceding in the way that we did. Because looking at the goals, just looking at from the very first goal, let's actually look at it. Let me see if I can bring it up. But the way that we start the game is absolutely abysmal. We go down 1-0 in 40 seconds. In absolutely from 40 seconds. Let me see if I can bring it up. I'll have to go up even further. Let me see if I find it right here, boys. Okay, so this is the goal in which we concede 27. As you guys can see the timer, 29 minutes. That's the goal. That's the 1-0 that we concede right there. Boom. And we concede. Okay. That's the goal in which we concede, and it's already tough because Barcelona, they did not come out of the gate strong. Barcelona came, they didn't show intensity, they didn't show focus, and it hurt us. It hurt us. And we were talking about Athletic Club's intensity in the match preview and in the build up to the match. We knew that Athletic Club was going to be a tough team to play against. We knew that they were going to be intense from the start, and Barcelona, they came into the game already just 40 minutes into the game, not being focused. And this has not been a one-off. Barcelona, they've already conceded 3 goals in the first minute this season. That's absolutely embarrassing. In 3 different occasions, Barcelona, they go down in the first minute, and it's not even that. Barcelona, they go down in most of their games, and we have to claw our way back. That just means that Barcelona, they just start the game poorly. But luckily, through a Lewandowski, I would say cheap goal, we do get the equalizer. This is Barcelona's 1-1. You see Ferran Torres, Pedri not able to get a good touch. Lewandowski gets a rebound goal, and it's 1-1. And then that's where the fortune of Barcelona, they changed. Barcelona were able to grow back into the second half. They did improve, but it wasn't enough. But that first half, I did like the reaction from the team, and then you saw this fantastic goal from Lamine Yamal, absolutely brilliant work from him, and you see the rocket to that basically that bottom left hand corner. And talking about Lamine Yamal briefly, looking at his overall performance, it didn't start well for Lamine Yamal. The first ball that he gets, he loses it, and that leads to Athletic Club's goal, in which they scored just 40 seconds into the match. But he does make up for it, scoring that wonder goal. He had some good moments of play, but overall, you can't really harm the six. You can't really blame him. But in the second half, he had 2 clear cut opportunities. Let me see if I can bring it up. But it's 2 clear cut opportunities in which, on another day, and if it lands on a more experienced Lamine Yamal, he puts those chances away. Just looking at this right here, this is Athletic Club's equalizer actually. Wait, actually, let me bring it back a little bit. Well, let me mute it. That's Athletic Club's equalizer. That's Frankie De Jong also not tracking his runner right there. Um, I think yeah, right there. I'm trying to see the yeah. This is a chance that Lamine Yamal had but wasn't able to put away. Right there. That's that was 3-2. This was a dangerous Nico Williams shot who was absolutely phenomenal. And this was the second Lamine Yamal chance not being able to put away. It's frustrating because at one point you could say, "Hey, Lamine Yamal, he played well," but at the same time, he didn't put the chances away. But you can't blame him. He's 16 years old. He's learning. You just have to take on the chin and just move on. But overall, guys, I'm looking at the performance and just I'm frustrated because Xavi's in-game management I wasn't good. Balde he does get injured in that first half, just 23 minutes into the game, as you guys can see. And Hector Fort he comes on. He plays roughly almost basically 100 minutes uh, of football, and he himself gets injured in the second half of extra time. But Hector Ford, he had a phenomenal game. When you look at Hector Ford performances, just looking at his stats, accurate passes 42 out of 48, touches 77, 2 out of 3 tackles won, clearances 4, duels. He was absolutely superb today, but obviously it wasn't enough. Pau Barsi, he came on as well for Christensen, who came off with an injury. You also had Mark Yu come on. And analyzing Barcelona just a little bit, we had so many youngsters out on the pitch that we weren't allowed to bring anymore. Because at one point I was saying, hey, sub out Pedri for Fermin Lopez, sub out Gundogan, sub out Lewandowski. But we already had Lamine Yamal, Kubarsi, and Hector Fort. And you're only allowed 3 youth players at one time. And that's why Barcelona, they couldn't bring any more. But looking at the third goal, in which was the absolute dagger, um, that made Barcelona. It was this one right here, and this goal was through a Sergio Roberto mistake. A Sergio Roberto mistake that leads us. I honestly have no idea why he was playing, and this is the fourth, I believe. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, this was the fourth right here. This was when Barcelona was just going all out attacking, so you can't really do much. But this is Nicky Williams. A great goal to him, to be fair. Fantastic work by him. And that's game. But one thing that you do have to say is Xavi's in-game management was absolutely not it. I also have to admit injuries they did harm him, but overall just it was bad. But guys, let's look at social media and let's see what's going on there. Rome wasn't built in a day. Trust the process. Changing the manager will do absolutely nothing. I can promise you that. Xavi till I die. Well, Xavi's going to come out under a lot of pressure. De Jong continues to be the first on my list of necessary sales, but he'll inevitably be at the club by 2030, still earning 20 million or more per year. Uh, yeah, right here. Look at this. Every game Barcelona starts for the most. Every game Barcelona starts his ass. It's really incredible. Goes at the 3rd minute, at the 2nd minute, at the 1st minute, and now 40 seconds. What a disaster! My God. I mean, Pedri clearly couldn't continue. It was either Roberto or Romeo. Take your pick. See, but at that instance, bring on Vitor Roque, guys. Bring on Vitor Roque. Just clocked that Lewandowski's goal was so fugazi, and Lamine Yamal goal was an absolute stroke of brilliance. But Verde coach a 4-0 win for fuck's sake. Can't do anything about those 2 goals. Official. Xavi becomes the most losing Spanish coach in FC Barcelona's history. Okay. It's clear once again, coaching mistakes, mindless substitutions, no tactics. I love him as a player, but Xavi's not a coach at this level. It's okay to admit it. Not every great player can be a good or great coach. Well, Bad luck. Yeah, you could say it because both Balde, Christensen, and Hector Ford they do get injured, and that harms his in-game management. Well, like what can you do? You bring on Hector Ford for Balde, which is understandable. Christensen he can't continue, so you bring on Kuarsi. You have two youth players, and then Hector Ford he also gets injured in the later part of the game in extra time. So at the same time, you could say, "Hey, why are you making those subs?" But what can you do? Probably the kids, every single one of them should leave with their heads held high. Lamine Yamal, Paulo Kouarsi, and Hector Fort, all sensational, showed personality well beyond their years, and quite possibly conducted themselves as our best players. They were superb. They were absolutely superb. Would be jokes if Valverde is the one who ends up sacking his third replacement coach at Barcelona, a poetic cycle. I can't be stopped now. I just know the club all too well, unfortunately. So-called Kunde should really try another profession. Man. I was processing the whole Sergio Roberto substitution all this while. How do we think of subbing Sergio Roberto on a team that continuously presses? A bloody Sergio Roberto. Blood takes 5 business days to control the ball and takes a whole decade out of pressure, man. And we were talking about Nicky Williams, guys, in the preview. Athletic Club knocked Barcelona out of the Copa del Rey. Incredible by Iñaki Williams. He was in Ivory Coast at the AFCON. He traveled for multiple hours after Ghana's elimination to make it back to Spain this morning, and he scored a crucial goal for Bilbao. Yeah, I mean we were looking at it. Yeah, people are calling for Kuman to come back. Absolutely no, man. Kuman would do so bad. What's his post match words? Bro, are you supporting this coach? Xavi wants to renew Sergio Roberto's contract. At this point, I wouldn't sack Xavi, but I'm not a fan of keeping Xavi at this point. We definitely have to see how the season ends, but honestly, it looks bad. Um, I wouldn't sack Xavi because we just don't have a replacement. Of course, if we had a replacement, I would sack him. But who can we bring on? Who can we bring? And Xavi wanting to renew Sergio Roberto's contract, just that we can't have that happen. Even with 3 reserve players on the team, the goals come from unforgivable mistakes by Kunde, Frankie, and Sergio Roberto. We have a massive problem here. Yeah. Completely deserved win for Bilbao. They outpressed us, outfought us, outtacted us, beat us in every facet imaginable, 100-0. We were pathetic, clueless going forward, shambolic at the back, devoid of any ideas. The usual shit show. Man. For me, the image of Barca, despite all the setbacks, has been more than decent. I've only seen one player who performed far below his teammates, Jules Koundé. Another bad night for him, the umpteenth time this season. Guys, would you guys so Jules Koundé? Gundo has been downgraded in Barcelona. Just Gundo, he's not playing in a position that's comfortable for him. It's that simple. Gundogan, you want him to be upfield. You don't want him to be, defending, tracking back, and doing all this. You want him to be up there, being a part of that midfield, but we don't have a DM. What can we do? Sack Xavi already. This BS must end. Making a meal out of bloody Bilbao. How far has this club fallen? Don't care. We find the winner. Bilbao third goal. We have to be smarter. There was only 1 minute left before the end of the half, but we conceded. Yeah. It was Sergio Roberto who lost the ball, which got Barcelona punished straight away. I feel for Xavi a bit. No team comes close to having as many kids as Barca out on the same pitch, let alone at crunch time in the big game. Yeah. My knee is bothering me. I bent a little bit, but I try to be there and help the team. I'm sad because we couldn't pass. Our team is very young, but we have to compete for everything. We still have La Liga and the Champions League. Oh, well, everything's to play for against Napoli. Do you agree that Xavi has no system of play in this team? Players are slow and clueless. I absolutely agree. There is no pattern of play. There's no system. Barcelona they just cruise through games, and that's where you have to point out Xavi. Like, hey, what are we doing? We need a right back and a DM. Well, we brought in Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo, he's supposed to be a right back and he's injured. We brought in Balde to be our left back and Kune to be our backup right back, and they're not performing. DM, we brought in Order Mel, but he's not performing either. It was again academy kids who were keeping us alive and expensive signings not showing up and disappointing. I'm not saying we shouldn't sign reinforcements, but for a decade now, we have failed massively choosing the right signings for this club. If it's not for La Masia, we wouldn't exist today. Yeah. Too cruel. He wasn't even supposed to be playing the match. That's a wrap for Xavi. Battered in the Super Cup, out of the title race, and it ain't even February yet. We also got an explosive spanking sesh incoming from Napoli. No injury excuses, either, as Madrid have suffered far worse. Vibe out for the rest of the season and start in the summer. Well, guys, closing thoughts on this whole situation, because honestly, I want to get away from Barcelona. But it it was a game that we could have won with a better coach and better defining moments. If Lamine Yamal puts away those two chances, it's 3-2, and let's say club they're looking for the winner. If our players they don't get injured, then it's a completely different situation. Even if we bring in a right back and DM, it'll be the same results because we need pattern and identity. Pep had an identity. Luis Enrique had an identity at Barca. That's why they were successful. Absolutely. But at the same time, this team, it lacks a DM and it lacks a right back. Our play would transcend and go and be so much better with these two like player profiles in the squad. Just look at Pep without Rodri. It's two completely different teams. Wow. The goal for the rest of the season, guys, is finish top 4 in La Liga, maybe try to pull off a fight, and Champions League, highly unlikely. I guarantee you that in that game against Napoli, we're going to start off losing, and from then on, just work on developing the youngsters. Simple. Work on developing Hector Ford. Work on developing Paul Guarci and Lamine Yamal as well. But that's the way. Thiago Mota, people are talking about him being replacement. Honestly, Thiago Mota, thoughts on him? I mean, we wouldn't be bringing him now because, it's not a good situation to bring in an experienced manager. At the end of the season, Thiago Mota, he could be an option. We have to see what he does in the Serie A until the rest of the season. But he's an option. He's an option. Xavi, we can be proud as we were fighting until the end. We were competing very well with our young players against a very good side. They're so good at home. Athletic are so intense. It's very difficult. We have to restart now and focus on La Liga and the champions. We have to do that. He's doing decent in Italy. He is. He is. The season is over realistically. The defense is crap. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. But guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take a break. I will be back tomorrow with some more reaction to the game. It's gonna be tough, but thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in, and keep on moving, boys. Little Xavi has the audacity to say all that crap after this. Yeah, man. This is why we just need to de-stress. But guys, thank you guys.